Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TISA debate event. So, in this debate event, we are once again coming up with a very interesting topic. So, the topic for today is: should the Indian government regulate the use of artificial intelligence? And before we begin this debate, I would like to tell you a bit about this event. So there will be two groups. One group will be speaking for the topic. Another group will be speaking against the topic, and each team will have three participants. One, the one will be a team leader who will initiate the debate. Second will be the second will act as a support who will support whatever the team leader has spoken, and third will be the whip. So whip will be such a participant who knows in and out of the topic. In short, whip will have the last chance to convince everyone that why their team is right. Okay, so and each participant will get maximum 5 minutes to speak, and after they complete 4 minutes, I I will post it on the message that your 4 minutes are completed. Then you will have to wrap it up in 1 minute. And the system will be like, if a team leader of, say, if the team leader of a group speaking for the topic will speak first, then the team leader of the group speaking against the topic will speak, and then we will come back once again to the support of the group speaking for the topic, and then the speaker will be shifting from one group to another. And at the end, we will have a open discussion. Okay, so let us begin with this exciting debate. I am very excited, and I hope that all of you are also excited for this. So before beginning, I will request the team leaders to please come forward, introduce themselves, and also introduce their team and what all roles and responsibilities they all are playing. So
Yeah,
let us begin with the team speaking for the topic.
yeah. Hi, thank you, Romin. Thank you for this introductions and all. Yes, myself, as I mentioned, myself, Kalpesh Patel, and I'm belongs to TISA since last 6 months. And I'm working as a IT guy. Uh, I have a 15 years experience in IT. Right now, I'm working as a DevOps PM in one of the IT company. This topic is AI. It's very interesting nowadays. No, everyone is looking for the questions, and every technology has light and shadow. Everyone is know about. There is a great benefits we can say, or you would say there is a great challenges, and of course, we have a benefit and challenges. Of course, we get a lot of opportunity also. That is my mantra, right? So, hello, are you able to hear me? Thank you. So, what is the benefit of AI? First, we start from what is the benefit for AI. Why AI is required in nowadays? So, it is AI. It's not kind of. It is a decision making system. We can say this is philosophy of decision making system, which work as a next advanced level. So, because we have a huge amount of data, right, and how we can use those data, that is the benefit from AI. If you use the AI, of course, we need to make for regulation or rules how you can limit, because it can be harmful for any system, right? So we go and technologies wise, if we go for any technology, they're giving a lot of benefit as well as harm, right? So I would just give you a brief idea about what is this AI and what so far government has done, our Indian government. So in 1st January 2015, our government has introduced new policy, new committee. That's name is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog will work for AI system. They will walk through the entire AI process and make it new regulation for AI. So first of all, the challenge is what for government, how you make the process, because AI is new for all, and we would require to understand what is AI will work, what is the benefit from AI, and what is the harm for the AI. Then the government can work accordingly. So right now, challenge is what for the government, which I heard in the news. Government is still not decide whatever data we have. We have a huge data, but we are not sure data is what kind of data. It is a purified data or unbiased data. As for the last past data, we can say we have a unbiased data. It means, let's suppose you're getting a lot of advertisement for anywhere, right? So we can't believe on those data. That we can say this is a fake data also. So first of all, we have to purify the data. We have to make it unbiased data. Then we can work on AI. So technology is always neutral. If you talk to any technology, it is neutral. But we are getting output where we would require rules and regulation. So main thing is what you have AI. So government is what is saying, all organizations who working for AI who are responsible. How they are responsible? Because they know where they are putting those data and where what output they are getting. If they are more concerned about, I would say, about regulations, I would say security and all, then of course we get good data. But they need to think about unattended consequence and misuse of data. So that would be a challenging for government, how we can purify those data. This is would be a main thing. And government are more focused about how make it bias, unbiased data, how make it security, as well as how make it more privacy. This is a challenge for government. Government is working for it. So I tell you one example, then I'll wrap up about it. Why regulation is required. Just I heard about it just 3 years before, Google CEO and Google is introduced this new technologies, face recognitions, where you have the technology where you can face recognize. And when Google has introduced, simultaneously Apple has added this feature in your new mobile. Every mobile Apple, you may get this, face recognition feature. But same time, European Union has introduced regulation. They mention, let's will not use this face recognition feature next 5 years. So what will happen? So Apple has to introduce, they had introduced new page, and they have stopped this feature for particular union, because now we can say this is very harsh. Government is very harsh to take a decision. But you think on a different way. We are thinking on face recognition feature, but who will think about mass surveillance? Mass surveillance would be a create the issue for this, for the people. So first we have to mitigate the risk, then we can introduce this face recognition feature. So same way there are the many features. Let's talk about WhatsApp. Why WhatsApp is very important nowadays? WhatsApp is very important. We are talking, we are chatting, we are well informed to each other. But thinking on a different way, WhatsApp can be used by other people who can create nuisance, who can create a lot of violence. Those are rights people, create like unwanted feature, and it would create panic for people. So every technology required rule and regulation so that we can properly use, because technology is always neutral, but the way we getting output where we would require this, rules and regulation. And that is from my side.
Yeah, so I listened to all the points that Kalpesh had to say on this topic. Yeah, but so let me first introduce myself. I'm Gulshan Madhur, and 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 I have joined the TISA looking to connect to people who are also facing the same issues. And and currently I'm working as in the operational excellence department in a pharmaceutical company in in Bangalore. So like, as far as the topic is concerned, I would like to say, yeah, that bringing regulation to something that has not even grown up to a certain extent is like killing. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So like if you are killing something that is yet to grow is not a good choice. Yeah, like good choice for the human civilization, because if you are killing something in the bud itself, you are not giving it an opportunity yet to grow. And if you are not giving it an opportunity to grow, then that means that you don't know whether it will it will cause more benefits, or it will or it will cause more harm. So that has to be there. And and also, if we talk about the way, if like the very nature of regulation, it means the regulation word in itself means that you want to control something according to your own, according to your own wishes and thoughts. So so that so that so that in itself is not a good thing. So suppose the China wants to control AI in a particular way and to target a particular country, they can do it. If India wants to do the same thing, they can also do it. Yeah, but yeah, but this will only cause more and more conflict to happen in between different countries. And it is not that is one of the reasons why it should not be regulated. And 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 also, as Kalpesh said, yeah that that the technology has to be neutral. So if we are talking about the neutrality of the technology, then that means that you have to also consider the bias in the human in the human behavior and actions itself. So if you have certain data, yeah that clearly show, that clearly shows, that the human civilization is biased towards a certain aspect, then then that has to show in the technology also. You cannot go and then nitpick what you want from the technology and ignore all these considerations. And also, yeah like there were certain other issues that were that were raised. Yeah, for example, the security issue. So if we have AI in place and it is not being regulated by the governments, then that is a much better security to people than to have an AI that is being completely regulated by each and every government. And also, if you see the EU, so the EU is placing ban on a lot of things now, nowadays, and that is pushing the whole EU to to the level of this Africa. Because if all the countries grow grow grow. If all the countries grow and EU is the only country that, that does not follow the technology, then they then it clearly means that it will become the Africa of the future. And and with those points, I'd like to yeah like I'd la- I'd like to open the the session for other participants to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Gulshan. So Gulshan has shared a very interesting point. According to him, regulation is not important for artificial intelligence since it is yet to be matured. So yeah, so that's a pretty interesting point. And let, let, let us see what the support team, uh, what the support member for the team speaking for the topic wants to say.
Yeah, so hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah. So, let me first introduce myself. I'm Pradipsingh Rajput, and I'm from Mehsana, Gujarat. And I have been associated with Ahmedabad SSG and TISA since 2018. When I was in my engineering at Ahmedabad. And yeah, so I'm in the field of medical devices sales since 3.5 years. Yeah. So I have heard Gulshan and Kalpesh both very attentively. And if I do want to say what Gulshan has to say, that technology is like growing up. It's now in its initial stage, right? But yeah, so it is true that uh, the development in the technology is very much important for the growth of any country. And if we will not grow, then we will be behind than the world. But in some cases, if we know that if this technology won't be regulated, and it so if it grows like this, then we can have an idea that what kind of impact it can create in the future, right? So yeah, so why we, let's say, example that if there is a water flowing, we make the dam so that the water flows in the correct direction, and that water gives you some of the benefits, right? So if there's a technology should be regulated in a right direction so that it can help nation grow, and it make people smarter, and it can impact the lives of the people. So if we say, let's talk about the very famous app or a platform which is like in very much demand, which is a chat gpt, and we all have been used it, or we are using it for the many aspects. So if we go back in our time, that when the mobile came, it decreased our need to remember everything. So before that, our memories were very good, but after phone, we all know that we don't have to remember anything. Everything is everything like comes in WhatsApp. Numbers are there, so all the data is there in one hand. So it decrease our memory power. Now what AI is a man-made AI is smart, right? So what people, so when you give this a free hand to this technology, to the normal and common people and the students which are still growing. So what they will use, they won't use their smartness. They will just search and they will get whatever they want, right? So there will be no room for the creativity. There will be no room for any to use their own smartness. If let's say you will say uh, student which has an access of chat gpt, then that you should write a story, right, or an essay or a poem. So what he will do, right, he will just search on uh, the, chat gpt, and he will have all the answers with him, because there is no regulation, right? So, and we have heard the news, right, that the university students are also using it for the exams and all that, and we can we are also seeing that it can also make the beautiful pictures whatever you want, right? So at the end, what my point is that the technology should grow definitely, right? So we should also support the technology, right? But we have to regulate in such a way that it should not impact the normal lives of the people, right? It should empower them, right? And not to make them dependent. And yeah, so with the regulation, it can have a much more impact to the lives of the people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep. So, according to Pradeep, Pradeep gave a very beautiful example. To control the flow of water, we construct dams so that the water can be used for proper purposes, so that it can benefit other people as well. Similarly, Pradeep wants to say that we should use artificial intelligence to enhance our creativity and which can empower us. So that's why giving it a proper direction and regulating it for proper use is very important. So, so a very good, good example shared by Pradeep. So let us see what the support member from the team speaking against the topic wants to say about this.
Sure. Uh, Royal, is that okay if I go ahead to add some points as a support?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Royal. So let me first introduce myself. Hello everybody. My name is Rahul Sharma. I'm 32 years old, software engineer by profession, and currently working in a Chennai-based IT firm. And I've been associated with TISA since 2013, almost 9 to 10 years back. And it's been a great journey for me. It's been a very fruitful journey for me. I've learned a lot. And yeah, that's about me. And now coming back to the topic, like Pradeep mentioned that he gave a very good example. Like we should, uh, I mean, I mean, we should be able to just, direct the river or direct the water so it can, I mean, so like it can flow properly, like in a proper way. That's a very good example. But I would say if we if we just over regulate AI, what it will happen is it will kill the innovation part. I mean, we know, like, I mean, uh, if I mean, if the country is open to any technology, it can be Web2 space, or it can be AI space. I mean, the more open the country is, all the startup companies, all the innovation, things will happen in AI. They will actually flourish. And if we regulate it, And if you just try to limit those ideas, those new startups, it will basically kill the innovation. And if you see, India has a very bad history of over-regulating. If you see, like in 90s, where all these companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, all these were startups back then. And um, as a country, we did a mistake in 90s that we over-regulated all these IT firms. So they could not enter our country. So they moved away to, to United States, to Silicon Valley. So back then, 30 years back, all these companies moved away from our country. So, uh, so like it should not happen. Yeah. So back then, what we did, we tried to over regulate all these Web two all these Web two companies like Google, Facebook, and all that. So that is one thing that we should regulate it, but also at the right time. Like Gulshan mentioned that right now AI is at a very early stages. So we should let AI flourish. We should let AI grow, and we should let AI. All the startups in AI should just try out different innovations in that space. And if we just regulate it at the wrong time, it will totally kill the innovation. All the talent will go away from our country to again to Silicon Valley, America, or to go to Dubai. So, and also it will like I mentioned, it will also kill the innovation within our country. So that is one thing. And I mean, one more point I would like to make is any new technology. It can be AI, it can be, uh, like any Web2 uh, companies, it can be blockchain. Any new technology will be disrupting our existing system. So instead of trying to control it by regulating, uh, at least at the initial stages, instead of trying to control it, we should let it flourish at least for first few years. So we would know the use cases, like how AI can be used in our day-to-day life, how AI can make our life easier, right? So uh, that is one thing that we should not regulate it now, at least because it is a very early stages of AI. Like Pradeep mentioned, like tools like Open AI Chat GPT, or tools like Google is also coming up with a tool called Google Bard. So these tools are, and in open source community, there are n number of tools in AI. So in the end, I would say this is not the right time to regulate it. Let it flourish, let it grow, let all these startup companies to grow and try out different things. And before it goes, before AI goes to the mainstream adoption, that is the right time to to regulate it. With that, I think I should be able to conclude here.
Thank you, Rahul. So, according to Rahul, he thinks that it is it will be too soon to regulate artificial intelligence in our country. He shared a example from the past that in the early 1990s, right? In the early 1990s, uh, the Indian government over regulated few things, because of which uh, the big companies like Facebook, Google, which were kind of a startup in that age, so they had to move out of India, and we can see that how big they have became now. So if the Indian government tries to regulate it at a at such an early stage, so it might cause us a problem. So Rahul thinks that we should allow artificial intelligence to flourish in the startup system, and he is very confident that it is not a right time. So now le, let us see that what the whip from the team speaking for the topic wants to say about this. And yeah, and I must say that the debate is uh, actually turning into a pretty interesting one, because whenever a team tries to throw something, then the other team is always ready to counter attack with a solid point. So I am pretty interested that what the two whips will share. So yeah, let us Kalpesh ji, we will come back to you, but first let the whip speak. So
Shall I start,
so
or are we waiting for other?
actually, who is the whip for the team speaking for the topic?
I think Pradesh already spoke. Pintu, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
next.
Pintu ji is the
Pintu.
whip.
Can I start for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
for telling for the topic?
yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Uh, thank you, Rohil sir, and thank you to all for giving me chance to speak something for the topic. Should Indian government regulate the use of artificial intelligence? Lots of things told by Kalpesh Patel ji and Gulshan ji, Pradeep ji, and Rahul Sharma ji. And as I am, first of all, I want to tell that what is artificial intelligence. It is simply the machine that thinks. First, I want to tell what are the advantages of artificial intelligence. Actually, artificial intelligence is now become our part of our life. If we just like as if we come from the office and want to switch on the AC or switched on the light from the office, we will do it. And also in the upcoming also Indian government also made provide support for the startup of the artificial intelligence. Lots of startup initiated in India also. As in India, artificial intelligence has data has a great role in this, and India is a garage of data. Since since in India there are lots of data, so um, uh, the uh, the machine the machine learning process it, and the artificial intelligence gives solution for this process. So artificial intelligence has a great role in today's era. But if we talk about but there are lots of negative point into this, just like as every coin has two faces. So there are lots of negativity in this, just as the Google CEO also Sundar Pichai told that the invention of artificial intelligence is more revolutionary than invention of fire. Also the theory given, the Big Bang theory, black hole theory given by the Stephen Hawking, also so much concerned about the artificial intelligence. He thinks that the humanity can be ended after the when the artificial intelligence go to super form, when superhuman artificial intelligence will develop, then the humanity is at the border. So so Indian government also, as Kalpesh Patel ji told that Indian government Niti Aayog are regulating this. So in as the total in defense sector, all the warheads are in automation. So even if we lose our data to our enemy countries, so our country protection is at risk. So Indian government have to regulate and to check to regulate and to check make proper guidelines for the startups, for the technology, so that our humanity, Indian security is at our own hand. As in the we know that the in technology, USA and China are at the top. So we have to fight against. We know that there is always a tension occur between India and China. So so if we not regulate on data, then definitely our data can go to the China. So it is for security concern. We have to make guidelines and regulation in the artificial intelligence. Okay.
Wow, what a wonderful point shared by Pintu ji, and I totally agree with him. So according to Pintu ji, United States of America and China, they are like the two countries who are working continuously on the artificial intelligence technology. And the more we are using artificial intelligence, the more amount of data is going out to these two countries, and because of which we might have to face some security concerns in the future. And I guess that and according to him, because of this concern, the Indian government should regulate the artificial intelligence, and that's a wonderful point. So let 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 us see that what the whip speaking from the team speaking against the topic wants to say.
Sure. Uh, yes, Gulshan, is it okay if I just speak as a whip? And if you like, you can also add few points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Thank you, Rohil, for giving me opportunity to speak again. And like Pintuji mentioned, like India stands a very unique position in the AI space, because I mean every country is looking for a dominance in AI space. Like which country will be the next, Silicon Valley? Because Web2 in the Web2 world right now, the epicenter of the technology is the Silicon Valley in United States. Now the next Google, next Facebook's, next Microsoft will come from this space, AI space and Web3 space. Like in Web3, we can consider blockchain, we can consider IoT, we can consider all the new tech. So every country is just trying to dominate AI space. And right now, why India stands at a very unique position is because in AI, everything is data. If you have more data, you can train your models more efficiently, and hence your AI model will be more trained, will be more refined. And India has the largest, population of internet users in the world. And India has the cheapest data packs in the world right now. I think everybody is, connected to internet right now. And also at the same time, India has the talent. Like if you see, even in the companies like Google, companies like IBM, Microsoft, they all led by Indian people. So I believe we have the talent that we can dominant and we can become dominant and we can lead this new area of expertise, AI. The only problem is this over regulation stuff. I totally disagree with that, because what happened, like if you over regulate it, multiple things will happen. I already mentioned, first it will kill the innovation totally, because we are trying to control the space too much as a government. And also it will all the talent, people like Sundar Pichai, people like the guy who's leading IBM, they will again move away from India to United States or to Dubai or to United Kingdom. So it will, promote the brain drain that we have already suffered in last 30 years. And also, like I mentioned, it will, push away all the new startups to onshore, to away from our country. So in the end, I would say one thing, 30 years back, as a country, we made a mistake by over regulating all these new IT firms. And now, because of that, all the talent move away. And I believe India has the talent, because uh, if, just imagine if, like Sundar Pichai would have stayed in our country and would have started, company like Google here in India. And why he was not able to do that? Because there was not much infrastructure here. The government policies were not very, very, supportive, towards the technology here in India. That's why he moved away from our country. So now, if we over regulate AI, the same process will start, and we don't want to, we don't want that to happen. So in the end, I would just say one thing: as a country, 30 years back, we missed a train of Web 2 space, like all the social media platforms, all the streaming platforms, all these, WhatsApp, Instagram, all these things comes under Web 2. So, 30 years back, we missed that train of Web 2. And because of that, all the talent, all the startups, all the, all the innovation moved away from our country. Now, again, after 30 years, we are at the same, position to make a decision if we want to keep the talent within our country, or if we again just allow our talent to go away, from our country by over regulating AI. With that, I will conclude this. Thank you, everybody.
So thank you, Rahul. According to Rahul, he thinks that we need to learn from our past mistakes. And in the past, as Rahul mentioned, that due to over-regulated regulation, IT companies moved out of India, and the talented Indians, they were forced to move out of India for a good future. So Rahul thinks that if we once again over-regulate artificial intelligence, which might weaken the infrastructure, and once again, the young Indian youth, they might have to move out of country to be a game changer in this field. So once again, a very interesting point. And now, guys, since all of the participants have shared their views, so let us have a small open discussion before
Romil, sorry to
before we
interrupt
try
you.
to reach out to the conclusion. Yeah,
Romil, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to give just two-line answer to Rahul comment, if you allow.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, also as Rahul is mentioned about, he's clearly mentioned regulation can kill the innovation in India, right? Due to this over regulation. But there is a difference between over regulation and process. No, we are making regulation to make the good process, because AI, of course, would be our next level technology. It would definitely help in many terms. But we would require to regulate to make it process. Otherwise, people may use on a different way. This is one thing. As we got a lot of example of ChatGPT. We people are talking about ChatGPT. Have you heard about ChatGPT? It's still not introduced in China. Still, China people using their own Google or on Facebook, they are not allowing to UK or US to directly can involve in that things, because they are more concerned about their security and privacy. They do not want allow anyone to inside in the country who can make any kind of any launch any application. That's strictly they have prohibited. Same, India have a good population. We cannot say, UK, you can make it. We have a lot of population. We first require to make good regulation so that everything works smoothly. If you compare to US, the UK, they have a good regulation, they have a good process, they have a good people. But in India, we have a huge amount of population. and we cannot say, how often people have, people have different mindset. Anyone can manipulate to anyone. That is the India's theory. So we would require first regulation. And one more thing I want to mention, we have a data, because AI will work in three pillars: data, algorithm, and compute. So, and that way we have to need to make it unbiased or purify our data. Let's give one example. Nowadays we have the election, right? Election, we are getting a lot of news, lot of WhatsApp message, and everyone is publishing their own, everyone doing their publicity of their own party. So how we can ensure the data what we have, it is a pure, or what is has authenticate, we cannot say. First we need to work to purify the data. Then second, where we are planning to use those data, where we would require to make it regulation, so that we can ensure whatever output is coming, it is reliable or helpful, or it harm for the people. So that's why we would require regulation. And one more thing you mentioned, that due to this 19s, people are moving away and they have started their own organization or on their life in UK, USA. It's not for India, because we have other reason. That's why they are move out from India. So it's not like that. We have a good process or we have a process. That's why they move out. Even they are going there, still they are looking good business in India, because they know how we are aggressive and how we can use it as infrastructure, everything, and we have talented people, of course. And as I mentioned earlier, I would say again, Niti Aayog will work more hard to make it process, but it's depend on a startup who are working on AI, because they are more concerned about what output we are getting. So we would require to make regulation so it will not go on the wrong hand, or it will not harm for the India. Because as I said, India have a good population, so we would require good control to manage. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Yeah, so actually, I'd like to counter the argument, yeah, by saying, yeah, that you talked about, yeah, that China has not implemented it, and and also India, yeah, like India and China has a lot of yeah, like a lot of population and all of these things, yeah, but if there is an issue in something else apart from the AI, then it does not mean that, yeah, that we will not, we will not, go ahead with the, with the AI itself. So like if there are something that is wrong in the system, so if people are putting the garbage on the row, yeah, like on the row, on the row, on the on the roads, then that doesn't mean that we will stop building the roads. So in order to have a positive growth, it is essential to control the process. Yeah, but in controlling it should not be that we are completely regulating the process. So if China has not implemented it, then it's a case of over regulation, as per my understanding. Yes, Kalpesh.
The beauty of India, we are not over regulation. We have the process. Yeah,
Kalpesh
go
ji,
ahead.
so Kalpesh ji, can we please first give a chance to Pradeep?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to counter the thing that so before 30 years the technology companies didn't evolve in India. So in my sense, what would be true is that before 30 years we might have regulated it, right? But at that time India didn't have the startup infrastructure which is here here today, right? So today India should focus on our homegrown startup, so that let's say we can have an example that Indian the government is regulating Tesla to come to India, right? Because Tesla is a giant. So if the government gives permission to them that they can import the cars and sell here, right? So so they have money, they have all the things, right? So they can dominate the market. But what government is trying that they are giving the time to the companies of India to grow, like Tata, Mahindra, right? So that's why they are uh, doing this. So now as we have got an example that China have their own Facebook, their own Google, their own YouTube, right? So it's the time now that India also has that capacity, right? So India adapts everything very quickly, right? So if we allow a foreign like a company which they are well funded to perform or here very freely, right? So they will again dominate it, right? And the Indian startup won't be able to compete them, right? So and with the Indian startup comes in this sector. So there we can protect our data also, and that way the security concern will be also less. Yeah, thank you.
That's a good point that you said.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kalpesh, you wanted to share something? Uh,
Yes. Thank you, Romy. Thank you, Rohil, for this. Give me one more opportunity. As I got update from Gulshan, right, and he mentioned about China is overrated this regulation, but in India it's very dynamically. So as I mentioned, first point, you can refer it. I already mentioned Niti Aayog has started to work on it. They are just planning how we can make regulate where it cannot directly stop. It not hardly stop to any kind of startup who are working on AI. They just make it process how we can make regulation so that if any output will come through that kind of AI, then it won't be harm to anyone. So it's not completely stopped. As I give an example of European government, they have just 2 years before they have stopped it. They hardly stopped. They started, no one will use any kind of face recognition future because there won't be some challenges. It was a hard stop. So in we cannot expect same thing from government do like that, but at least make it some process, make it some regulation so that it will work smoothly. One more example, nuclear weapon. Nowadays, nuclear weapon is very dangerous for world, right? Everyone have the nuclear power. Everyone is talking about nuclear power, and everyone is giving threaten to each other. But nobody has started. Nobody has still crossed the limit. Everyone is threatening, but nobody has crossed the limit. Why? Because we have a regulation. Regulation will inform post people. You can threaten, but you are not allowed to use this nuclear weapon. Same way, AI also would require enough regulations for that it will work smoothly. It won't be impact to in a harm way. That's why regulation is work must be required. And I mentioned that last my submission. As I mentioned, technology is always neutral. AI, where we would require regulation on the same AI way, because AI is working for dynamically whatever data you have passed data based on that is working dynamically. Same way, you need to think. Government has to think about regulation, how it make it process so that it cannot stop directly to any kind of AI output, but it would make it more helpful and more process by. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Uh,
Yeah,
Rohil, can I make few
yeah, but
points?
Kalpesh,
Actually, Pintuji wants to share something, and
Yes.
then we can come to Rahul.
Yeah, as Rahul ji said, thank you giving me chance. As Rahul ji said that Sundar Pichai go to USA just for the after the regulation giving regulation in the IT firm. But I am agree with this. But not only regulation, also with the lucrative package given in USA. Not Sundar Pichai, also lots of scientists, engineer, doctors were go to USA or in European countries just for the lucrative package. So also as Kalpesh ji told that due to if there is a irregulation in the artificial intelligence, then there is a nuclear threat to everyone. We know that we all know that the Chernobyl threat which occurred in the Ukraine. How the nuclear disaster would impact and harsh the world humans, not only human life but also the plant or animal, all are affected due to this. Also, if I want to add one point that just as we think that the Tesla or new technology are introducing just as driverless car, so those are work on the simply GPS and motion sensing or some technology. That is very good. But if some bugs are get introduced on that technology, then we all know that the what will be the output. There is a chance also of road accident, road crash. So our lives, since due to this our life become easier, but we are at the risk risk of life. So I think there should be a regulation in the artificial intelligence by government.
Okay. Rohil, can I make few points?
Yeah, please.
Sure. So, like, few participants mentioned earlier that they have given example of China. I think we should not take lessons from China because they don't even allow Google to accessible inside China. They don't even allow, I mean, all the applications we are able to access outside China, they don't allow it there. There is no democracy there, right? Like it's all closed economy. And on the top of that, they make applications like, TikTok, which are very harmful, not for us, but also for our children's. So it's better not to take examples from China. I mean, they are not a democracy at the end of the day. So we should not, learn from them. And also at the same time, I mean, I would like to counter one more point that, few members were saying, 30 years back, not even IT companies. We remember 1992, 1993. I think in 1991 or two, this new economical reform was introduced by Manmohan Singh government. Before that, not even IT companies, even the companies like Coca-Cola or companies like Pepsi, all these multinational companies were not allowed in India. So that is one thing that we all can agree there was not enough infrastructure maybe 30 years back. Because of that, all the brain drain happened. And yeah, so that is one point. And I believe AI, I mean, maybe like in another 20 years, if AI plays a very good role, um, and we all will be living in a very decentralized world using blockchain, using smart homes with IoTs, IoT platforms, with AI, where the the decision making will be very unbiased. But if we just try to over regulate it, that means we are we are trying to create a bias inside the system. I mean, it can be any government, it can be, I mean, if the AI tool is developed within our country, maybe our country will try to create some bias inside AI, and nobody will know about it because AI models are very complex, so nobody can question the AI model. There is not much transparency inside AI, like how the decision have been made. So that is my point. Like, if you're trying to regulate it, that means we are trying to create some kind of bias inside AI. And if we, and AI should be non-biased. It should be very decentralized, right? So th- that is one point I would like to make is now is not the time to regulate it, because we can say now AI is maybe 4 or 5 years old. I mean, OpenAI started working on ChatGPT in 2018, I believe. So now we are in 2023. So AI is very, very young, only 5 or 6 years old. And if we just try to restrict any child who is actually 4 or 5 or 6 year old, that child will not be able to live up to his actual potential, right? So if we just try to regulate it now, where the AI is, like it's a child, and the AI is continuously learning right now. So if we over-regulate it, we are restricting the potential of that child, which is AI in this case. With that point, I think I should be able to conclude. Yeah. Anybody else have any points?
Actually, I want to share just a small point. So as Rahul ji said about China, so I read it somewhere that one of a tech, uh, so one techie from India, he went to China for some work, and he stayed there for almost 10, 10 months or so. So he observed that since we all know that TikTok was originated in China, okay, and now TikTok is in all the countries. Okay, so in India or in other countries, the content which we are shown on TikTok is like people are making dance videos and people are like creating some funny content. Okay,
Right.
which and but in China, what they show in TikTok to their youth, that how the youth of China are working for the betterment of their country. Some are joining into army, some are joining some social work to make the country much more better. Some are into the technological field to improve the country, and
Right.
and all uh, and all other positive stuff, so that the youth of China should think that no, even I should work for my country. So then through this technology they are bringing uh, something which will bring a positive impact for the youth of China, and for the youth of other countries. The China is doing completely opposite. Okay, they are trying their best to divert the youth from the real scenario. So that was pretty much interesting, like how China is using the technology as a weapon to destroy
Right.
the
Youth.
youth. So
Right. Right.
so I just wanted to share this interesting point, like it just came into my mind. So so Kalpesh ji wants to add something.
Yes, yes. As we got output from my other participants, they mention over regulation, but this topic is regulation, not for over regulation. And nobody say we are working on over regulation. We are emphasized for regulation. Of course, over regulation will must be hard to stop through any AI. But as I am started, I have mentioned regulation. AI is, or I would say about DT Aayog is working for regulation, not for over regulation. As I give an example of European country, they have stopped face recognition. That was over regulation. But India, so far, there is no any process. The people are working on backside how we can make it regulation for AI, so that we can work smoothly and regular and this AI. And we got some of output from other participants, Facebook and what they, and we always appreciating UK and USA. But you think about, last years before Facebook, the government, Facebook management has caught there was some privacy issue in Facebook, and the court had dragged, and the entire owner, CEO, every was in the court, and they were giving answer for the why privacy is breached, and for that this US and UK government has strict make it data privacy policy, so that everyone has, if someone from outside of this US and UK, they wanted to business in UK and USA, and then has to follow data privacy issue, the data privacy regulation. Same way, we would require also regulation so that no one can enter in our country. And if someone wanted to business, India is very open, everyone can do it, but with regulation, so that it won't get harm for this India. Yeah, that's it for my side.
But there is, Kalpesh, I would, there is no
Gulshan,
guarantee.
really sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
Yeah.
Can we first let Pintu ji to add his point?
As Rahul ji said, for the over regulation for the AI, I want to add just one point, that as AI firms are all the AI firms didn't give any penny knowledge to any outsider, or to any outsider. So there must, for the security of the people, security of the humanity, there must be third party. Artificial AI firm must share their how AI work, or give their explanation to the third party, so that he can regulate the mishappening or the negativity, to convert it into positive way. So there must be regulation by third party.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
yeah, like, can we guarantee that that the third party is completely unbiased and truthful? That we cannot guarantee. So again, it is a case of bias only, and like, even if the Niti Ayog is handling the case, even then, the AI could be biased towards the current government. So like, if we keep moving on from one bias to the another bias, then it is not a good thing for the for the people themselves. So that is what I wanted to like.
Right. Yes, maybe I will just make two more points very quickly. Like, we all agree we are talking about the regulation, not the over regulation. But if you see, India has a bad history of over regulating. I mean, just take an example. Maybe a few years back, all these blockchain startups, we all have heard crypto, right? And most of the times we have heard 80% of the news are negative about crypto. Mm-hmm. Am I audible?
Like
Gulshan ji, please.
Only India, but most of the countries have a bad history. Yeah.
Can I continue? Just
please.
make a few more points. Yeah. So like, I was talking about crypto, like a few years back, all these, we all might have heard about Bitcoin, crypto in last many years. Now, in last 1.5 years, India has put a lot of regulations, and also, I mean, the taxation is also around 30%. So so that 30% tax is as equal as gambling taxation. If anybody won anything in gambling, they will have to pay 30% tax, and so same thing goes for crypto. So, and also they have introduced TDS and all these things if anybody's trading in crypto or so overall, they have over-regulated crypto. Because of that, you might have heard a project called Polygon, or like a project called WazirX, or many other projects in metaverse. Because of this over-regulating, all these companies now they have moved to Dubai, and almost 80% of the talent that we have in Web3 metaverse that has already moved to to some other countries, and we as a common people don't know about it. So I mean, why I'm talking about over-regulating is because India has a bad history of over-regulating stuff. Because we all come from the conservative family. We don't want things to change. That is why we are talking not to regulate it now, at least. And I mean, and and if you are like, if India does want to regulate it, I would say don't regulate it alone as a standalone country. At least they can collaborate with the G20 nations, and all these countries which comes under G20, they can all create same kind of framework of regulations and policies to cater AI. So uh, instead of Niti Ayog can work with G20 nations countries, so we can create a like same framework across all G20 nations if we want to regulate it now. That is one point I would like to make. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Rahul ji. Does anyone wants to add one last point before we end this event?
Yeah. So my last point too is that uh, yeah. So every technology has its time, right? So if I talk about that blockchain and crypto, so it needed that regulations, and that was necessary. What I believe is that because in India, the people didn't have much knowledge, but as I have previously said that in India people are very good at adapting technologies. So anything comes new in this country, people will definitely try it once, right. So India has uh, India has a lot of people, right? So if government want regulate it, right, so people will be using it without knowledge, and might be harmful to somebody, right? As in crypto, people were blindly investing uh, to make their money 5 times, 10 times, and then in a night that currency was like zero, right? So that's the disadvantage of the yes, there are advantages also, but yeah, to prevent that harmful effects, the government did this, and in AI also to prevent this harmful effects to the common people. There is a need of regulation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep. Guys, I think that the debate can go on, and we all want India to be powerful in this technology, and whether it is with regulations or without regulations, but we all wish that we should be at the top, since it's the Indian youth who is at the topmost management level at any technical firm in any country of this world. So guys, now I guess it's time to end the event, and I hope that all of you have enjoyed this, and I will highly recommend the audience to please comment their views, that which side they think they support. And I will also request all the participants to please share your views on our YouTube channel and also on our Telegram, so that we can come up with many such exciting topics on this debate event. So thank you very much.
Thank
Kalpesh,
you.
do you want to share something?
Yes, yes, thank you, Rahul, for this organizing this wonderful events, and it won't be possible without you, because you just connected since last 2 weeks to every person individual and asking for this, when you will be available. Thank you for your great efforts, and that would very nice. And thanks, Rahul, Gulshan, Pradeep, and Pintu for have that wonderful thought about this particular topic. Of course, as mentioned by Rahul. Rohil, that's the ongoing process. If you discuss a lot, then it would require, I think, 3 to 4 days. Then we can't stop in one point. It is a very good, nice
Right.
topic. So thank you for bringing this very, very nice and very wonderful topic. And thank you guys for your support and your good thought. Thanks.
Yeah.
Also, guys, we will be uploading this video on YouTube. So I request each one of you to please comment on the video, and also post a comment on the Telegram group, because it encourages a lot to come up with many such exciting topics.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Bye bye, and happy Sunday.
Happy
Rohil,
Sunday, guys.
And until the next debate event, I would like to remind each and every stammerer that haklao magar pyar se.
Right.
Bye.
Cool.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
thanks.